Ancestry travel is a really big trend in travel at the moment. It's probably become especially popular due to the BBC television series Who Do You Think You Are? It's created an interest in people wanting to visit somewhere that has a personal connection in some way. Now let me tell you about a couple of places we visit on our tour. Contrary to what you might expect, Calcutta is glorious. There's so much British history, and some of the streets look like you could actually be in London or Cambridge. It's a feast of colonial architecture, big, Victorian, Gothic, dramatic buildings. There's the flamboyant Victoria Memorial, the Royal Insurance Building, and the beautifully ornate Writers' Building, which was originally the offices of the East India Company. Today, Calcutta is India's second biggest city and the country's intellectual and cultural capital. It's known for being exceptionally friendly. And then there's Madras, the coastal city where much of the British trading took place, and it's now India's commercial and cultural capital. Let's now talk to one of Journeys of Distinction's storyteller guides, Akila. Hello Akila, namaste.
Namaste, how are you, Karen?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good too.
Namaste is a really good word to know actually. It means good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You can use it in all sorts of places, so it's a really useful one. So tell us about being a storyteller guide. What does that mean exactly?
It just means that as a guide, we prefer to use stories rather than facts.
Yes.
You see, it sticks in your brain for a much longer time. If you have a nice story with a nice background to it,
yes,
the memory lasts for a much longer time. So that's why stories.
Ah, well, that's good then. Akila, I hope you don't mind my asking, but I just wanted to find out a little bit about the dot that you're wearing. I see a lot of Indian ladies wearing it, and I hope you don't mind my asking, but what does it mean?
Well, it actually means a lot of things, Karen, but the only interesting thing that I'm going to share with you right now is that this is a caste mark.
Ah.
You see, in those days, this is really way back in the past, the Brahmins, who were the educated community, they used to wear a white paste mark because it meant they were telling the world that they were knowledgeable because that was their job. You have the Kshatriyas, the warriors, they wore red because they had to tell the world how brave they were. And then you have the Vaishyas, the traders, they wore yellow because they were always running after this yellow metal, gold.
Oh, yes.
And the Shudras, who worked for the other three communities, wore black. But like I just suggested, this color coding does not work anymore. It's just one more story in the big line of stories that the Potter has, because this is called the Potter.
Oh, it's absolutely fascinating. And today's ladies, and modern ladies, young girls growing up, maybe your own daughter, do they also wear it, or do they have a different view of it?
Well, they have a completely different view of it. In my house, my mother, she wears a potter and she gives reasons like tradition, heritage and culture.
Yes.
I wear it. My reasons are quite different.
Right.
Huge forehead, nice rings. I look awful without a potter. And my daughter, she says jeans and a potter? Mom, you're growing old. So, like many of our traditions, this is one more on its way out.
That's funny. Now then, tell me, Madras has an unusual connection with ice, I understand. You know, the ice that we might have in a drink. Could you tell me about that?
Yes, there's definitely a connection between Madras and a very interesting story about ice. And this story actually involves three nations. You have England, which desperately wanted ice in those days in India. You have India, because the whole action was in India. But the hero of the story actually came from America. You see, there was this young boy named Frederick Tudor who was determined to sell ice in hot countries and make a fortune. And he did it too. Everyone laughed at him. His first trip was between Boston and Havana. He was successful. He did make money. And then he grew a little more adventurous. So he decided to come to India. Now, coming to India in those days meant 4 months of travel all over tropical seas. So I can still imagine Tudor standing on standing on a ship, opening the doors of the hold, and wondering what would he see. Would he see just cold water, or would he see ice? where he saw ice
Wow.
because 2/3 of his consignment reached intact.
That's
And
amazing.
it was a big success. And the British just loved him
Yes.
because they finally got ice.
Yeah.
And that's why ice houses were built.
Yeah.
You have one in Chennai. It still goes by the name of ice house to the older generation.
Yes, and I think we'll be visiting it when we come, won't we?
I do hope so, because it's a lovely place.
Yeah, it's fascinating, and it's such a great story, really, because we take ice for granted so much, don't we?
Yes. And at the end of it all, I hope I will give you a really good time when you all are here.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful. Akila, thank you so much indeed for talking to us today, and I look forward to seeing you later this year. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Namaste. I look forward to seeing you too, Karen.
Bye. And then, of course, there's Ooty, India's most famous hill station, which was set up by the British to give them some respite from the summer heat. I thought it was absolutely charming. Ooty has tea estates, a UNESCO World Heritage train, and you see constant reminders of the British past. And then there's Commissioners Road, and you'll even find a bookshop there called Higginbottom's. It always makes me smile, as well as unusual sights you might not expect, such as the fascinating seed shop I discovered, where you can buy vegetable and flower seeds.